Okay, guys, so this will be 10-minute short pre-recorded lessons during async time that you can watch. So since we don't have enough time during live lessons after live sessions, you have to watch this 10-minute video to make note. All right. So we already finished the live one. So now you're going to label number 5 note from pre-record, or you can simply say async time note. So let me go back to the note. You can label number 5 async time notes, or you can say pre-recorded lesson notes. And you can highlight that for me. So whatever I teach or whatever I write right now, you have to copy down. You don't have to copy down everything, but examples, of course, and then some formula if I ever write down the formula. So whatever you think it's important, you have to write down. So async time, this 10-minute pre-recorded video, whatever I write down, it's going into your number 5. So you label it. Okay. So let me go back to my template because I'm going to use my template here. So number 5 is notes for this particular video. So I'm going to go over parent functions because we didn't have time to go over parent function during live session. Oops. Just going to use parent functions. And if you remember, parent function was one of your vocab list, right? So now I'm going to write down the definitions. Parent function is the most basic, or you can say simplest function in family. Okay. What does that mean by family though? So families of functions, let's go over that too. They are sharing same or similar algebraic properties, and they have similar graph, okay, or characteristic. So for example, we went over linear functions, right? Linear function will have a straight line all the time. No matter what kind of linear function, you will see similar types of graph. You will never see curve. It will be always a straight line, but it will just change the position, but it will be similar graph. So that's called families of functions. So we have linear functions. We might have something else like quadratic functions, but the most basic, the simplest function in a family is called parent functions. So let's go over linear functions, because this is the most basic one. We went over this, f of x equal to x, right? And then when we graph, it looks like this. Straight line. Okay. Number 2, we have something called quadratic functions. Quadratic function is f of x equal to x squared. So now you have exponent or power. And then when we graph this, we don't have a straight line anymore, but we have U shape. Oops. Like that. It's parabola, okay? So this is parent function of quadratic functions. The most simple, the basic graph of the quadratic functions. We are going to go over quadratic functions next unit. It will be an entire topic on that. And the second one, we have something called absolute value. We went over this a little bit during our review homework. It has bar, right? It's absolute value. Absolute value graph looks like this. It's V shape, okay? So it's a little bit different than quadratic. Quadratic was U, absolute value is V shape. It's not really even, so fix. Okay, V shape, that's absolute value. And then we have something called cube. I just want you to recognize this graph. We don't have to memorize, we don't have to solve it. So cube, we have x to the third power. It's called x cube. So this one looks like something crazy. Like that, okay? I just want you to recognize these functions. So cubic functions. Let's say cubic, not cube. Okay. And then lastly, I don't have enough space. Okay, so the last one, we're on number 5, right? Square root functions. So you guys know square root looks like that. And they also have graph, let's say y and x. And it looks like this. So this is another parent functions. We also have constant, which means you just have number. In this case, you just have horizontal line. We use ruler. That's it. 6 different type of functions, but I only went the basic, most simplest graph. It's called parent functions. So I just want you to recognize that. So constant looks like this, square root looks like that, quadratic is U-shape, parabola, absolute value is V, cubic looks like that, right? It's like dancing graph, and linear function is straight line. So I just want you to recognize these 6 types of graph. That's it. Okay. Now, after you complete this note, please select 3 self-check questions. You can choose this from your homework, which is your independent practice. There's 10 multiple choices. So you can just select 3 problems from there and then just work on them. Okay, 3 problems. And then you complete. You can ask me any questions during office hour or async time, maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Thursday or Friday, whenever. And then after you complete entire note, you take the pictures, or if you have a scanner, that's fine, you can scan it. So take the pictures. You will have like 6 to 7 pages, right? Maybe upload that into your Google Drive, CSSD drive, and then go to the Canvas, and then you can submit it. Okay. If you have any tough time how to submit notebook, please email me or please see me during office hour or async time so I can explain. Okay, so this is it. Now you guys can work on independent practice problems. There are 10 multiple choice, unlimited time. It's due on Sunday, due on September, let me see, 6th, Sunday. Lesson quiz, which is a summative, that will be your quiz, which is very similar to your independent practice, but you will have only 2 attempts, 30 minutes, there will be time limit. that's also due on Sunday. So make sure you study first, go over the homework, independent practice as much as you can, and then try the lesson quiz. Everything is due Sunday. All right. Okay, see you guys.